Loose Leaves, Peace Amidst Radical Change. Written and read by Alicia Fowle. Chapter 2. The Dance of Duality. Tears prick. Tears prick the back of my eyes, little pinpoints of rage. A soft breeze of knowing calm evaporates the chaos. Back to bliss. Back to this inner that has no outer. Back from where? The battle of insane versus sane, the dance of duality. I could use my power to bend you, but you would bow to me as your savior or temptress, or curl into a mess at the loss of your comfort. And this is all me. This is all my dream. That is your dream. I can do this. It is not forever. I have seen forever. It has scarred the backs of my eyes, and I can never see you the same again. Duality, meaning two, yin and yang, man and woman, heaven and earth, the everlasting list of opposites, life, death, the tree, the ground. Who are you? Who am I? In the mirror, you can see bits of the other going back and back and back to infinity. Life is this interplay of yin and yang. The primal force split into the two, moving out and drawing in. The cold meets the warm, and a storm begins brewing. A dance between the active and the receding. When less in balance, the aggressor, the victim. When these elements separate, this is death, of some kind or another, a splitting of earth-heaven energy. Death of a body, the earth energy returns to earth as the decaying corpse, and heaven energy alights as a liberated soul. Death around every corner of life in this constant dance. Every single one of us was a perfect mirror in the beginning as a child. We absorbed the reality we lived in like a digital camera. Bodily memory, stored in the cells of the body, informing us of who we are. Amidst the landscape of your childhood were two people representing yin and yang. Sometimes parents, sometimes one, or sometimes a whole village. You may consider it a hardship to have had a single parent or an interesting, quote, difficult childhood, but consider this conditioning as temporary. There are some holes in the armor, and this may be a great blessing. Already, the ideas and identities you attach to have some room to breathe. We absorb the nuances of our childhood environment like a plant takes in sunshine. That conditioning sets the stage for who I expect sunshine from all my days. The qualities that were considered taboo somehow are absorbed in a peculiar way with a kind of asterisk. Check this out, it might be special. It must be special. Subconsciously, we look for those qualities too. Beneath all of our yearnings and agendas is a deep desire to be free. So we will find a way to cross paths with exactly what or who we need to reignite some buried rememberings or release some shadow of shame. The process of being alive can feel so tricky if we are identified with this and not that. As we live, we will never have yin that does not need yang, or yang that does not need yin. That is life. And nestled in the deeply receptive yin is a fierce yang that can say no in a way that stops the earth on its axis. In the activity of yang is the yin pinpoint of stillness. You see this principle in the yin-yang symbol. That interplay is the source of energy through the body, according to Taoist Chinese medicine philosophy. The crisscrosses of the serpent in medical symbology. The chakras spin as earth energy meets heaven energy. The thunder starts rumbling. Rain starts to fall. Rainbows come out from their hiding. Can we live into this with less suffering? Recognize the bigger picture? Looking for the other side of the equation? Asking the questions, how do I see me? How do I not want to see me? Who am I drawing into my life? What am I attracted to or really irritated by? This, known as shadow work, purposely incorporates the bits that are labeled bad or off limits. If I become more of who I can be, I have freed up storage for the moment. You need it. The moment is bigger than we could ever expect or know with a thinking conscious mind. The juggling act between okay and not okay does not exist in that space of vast allowing. I hadn't always known the feminine, known the yin of myself as I do now. I was conditioned with a narrow range of options as a woman, like many in our present culture. I was raised in a Catholic farm family. I had a farming dad, a homemakering mom, 5 brothers, 4 sisters, all older except, oops, baby. Bet he's tired of hearing that. Cats, dogs, and wide open pastured room to roam. My sense of being a girl was that I wasn't a boy. I better marry the right guy. I did marry a great guy, but it wasn't enough to fill that gaping chasm of being somehow less. A pesky habit I picked up as a teenager was to translate words and melody into songs. I got so much positive feedback, I briefly considered and attempted the career of Christian singer-songwriter, self-recording a CD, doing a little touring. It kept on through our first child and writing and recording beautiful, and then took a decided downturn into therapy for depression and antidepressants, known dampeners of all things creative and passionate. But somewhere in the middle of that snuck through the song In the Garden. Out of the blue came that song from the feminine side, which was still alive. The feminine is symbolic, shadowy. If you have ever known to get through something that you were sure you could never get through, it was that feminine holding you in arms that never grow tired. The maiden, the lover, the mother, unconditional acceptance, Kuan Yin compassion, the many, the messy. Hold on to the love that's inside you, I wrote in the Garden. Hold on to your beating heart. It's a feeling and romance and passion, the passionately lived moment or whatever happens to be, changing and allowing. That song was a little lifeline, and later, the whole world became the garden, became sweet and alive. I knew myself to be profoundly, undyingly okay, embodied. Life in physical reality, love in physical reality. The temptation to feminist rage is real. The feminine, to heal, must be both given space and given a how, a safe river for that pressure to release. The lifetimes of suppression from patriarchy, painful childbirths, rapes, mixed messages, constant mixed messages, all like bile built up and toxic. Religion does no favors women. It doesn't help the men in our lives either. When it says right off the bat, you came first and you're second, the rib, the apple, all these props, how is man to ask and listen? The basis of any kind of basic communication. When they're somehow dictated to be master over you. Other cultures, noting that women cycle, essentially die every month. How would you translate bleeding if you didn't know any better? Women have the babies. These cultures say the complete opposite. Women are closer to spirit. Men need to fast and pray and try hard to connect to God, not women. Please, let's not make it a competition. One will be chopping trees while the other bakes cookies. One will be hitting each other with sticks and looking for animals to hunt. The others cooing over babies and picking berries. One will seek security and clear thinking. One will seek drama and connection. When you're two standing side by side, looking in opposite directions, don't start arguing about what you see. The argument will never end. If you're two standing side by side, focus on your hearts that beat to the same time. For the man to embody their God, Christ-like being is not to take themselves so seriously, to be an open container that is sturdy and forgiving and ever renewing. Sometimes the feminine comes like water that needs a bank to rest on. Sometimes the feminine comes like fire, and without a fireplace will destroy herself and him both. Sometimes we each learn to embody both feminine and masculine, heal the trauma that stands in the way of that, and grow into our highest potential. With the right environment, potential destruction is just the path to miraculous renewal, and relationship can thrive, can be a dance with the divine. So often in this American culture, the only prize to gain is a boy prize. Equality turned back on women. Yes, now you can work and come home and work more and feel less and less. I breathed such a sigh of relief, realizing this unwieldy banner of insensitivity and productivity was never mine to hold up, and not what men who are more balanced with their feminine prioritize either. The healing is not in the feminine versus the masculine. We twirl round and round, the embodied yin and yang. This was a little song I would sing to our daughter at bedtime. I love you like the stars in the sky. They roll around while we dance together. Say hello, how are you? Will you dance with me? La 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 la. If you make me this and you that, we all suffer absolutely every time.